Davis. I'm Chief Executive of James Lister & Sons Limited. Lister & Sons is an SME. We've been around since 1874. We're split into three divisions: General Industrial Supplies, Fluid Power, and the division we're in today is our Listertube, which is a tube manipulation company. We were interested in seeing whether we could extend the capability of 3D printing into actually producing bend tooling, which traditionally we would have machined from normal steel, which is a relatively slow and quite expensive process. So by potentially being able to print tools, we could reduce that time, that lead time for our customers, reduce the cost, and bring a lot of jobs that otherwise perhaps wouldn't get done into fruition. Well, we ended up buying a machine considerably cheaper than we'd anticipated. We thought we were going to have to spend at least £20,000 to £25,000 on the machine. And we were hoping to use the grant available through the Made Smarter programme, but in the end, really just that advice and support and the samples that were provided to us through WMG allowed us to select a machine that only cost around £4,000, so we funded that ourselves. Primarily bending steel tube up to 35mm diameter and 1mm wall thickness, which is quite stiff and quite hard to bend. We're able to bend that around these printed formers that are costing us, next to nothing really, that we can produce by printing them overnight. We still have to design them, but once they're designed, we can print them really quickly. We're using it primarily for short volume runs, for high volume production, so anything of the order of hundreds or thousands of components. We would still want to produce a steel tool, but for short runs it's perfectly adequate, and it's really opening up our marketing opportunities and growth.
We got involved with Listertubes to support them with an issue that they had with regards to tooling. Their initial tooling issues were that they were outsourcing the tooling. There were lead times of 6 to 8 weeks on some tooling, which was too long for the clients. The cost of tooling, it could vary from a couple of thousand to £7,000–8,000 £8,000. And what they wanted to do was find an alternative method of addressing these issues in tooling. We had our delivery partners, WMG, involved. They provided support and came up with a solution with regards to additive manufacturing. So we're set up to help manufacturing industries, companies like Listertubes, to adopt the digitisation journey. We're there to help clients. We take the front costs out of that intervention. We offer up to £30,000 support with 8-day support project-wise with our delivery partners MTC and WMG. We offer a £20,000 in-kind grant to purchase software, any equipment to enable that digitisation journey. And we also offer an internship which is of 3 months fully paid, which is of a value of £7,000. So it takes the initial risk out of starting off on those first steps of that digital journey.
What we did is, after James Lister contacted us looking at, exploring additive manufacturing 3D printed, we created a digital roadmap which allowed us to create a route through an exploration of additive manufacture and how to go forward. So once that was created, that enabled me to come in, talk to James Lister, discuss what their needs were, and then explore all the different additive routes that we had earmarked as potential ways to create the tooling. It will enable James Lister to do is to create tooling a lot quicker than their traditional metal routes. So we can cut that down from weeks into days. They're relatively simple machines. A lot of them have almost like a plug and play aspect to them. And they're not as expensive as you'd think. We can start printing off within the thousands rather than the tens of thousands. As we progress into the future and as we progress into a more digital age, this will allow them to access those machines and get onto, I suppose, the first footsteps, the first steps of the ladder into the digital revolution, into Industry 4.0.
We're seeing a lot of inquiries coming through that now we can respond to. Our growth rate is above 10%, and you know, things can only go up from here really. It's looking really good.